I'm afraid that Windows 10 has reached the end of life. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I've made the decision. I must upgrade to Windows 11. Is there anyone here that wishes to join me?
I'll do it. I too shall install Windows 11.
You're very brave. Thank you.
The rest of you must leave.
I want to try Windows 11. Please, sir, let me upgrade to 11.
This is a mission you don't come back from. Stay with Windows 10 and enjoy your life.
Yes, sir. Long live Microsoft.
Hey guys, we're back, and it's time for another update on Windows 11. About 60 days in, roughly, 2 months. I posted the other video, the links down below, of the 30-day review. Didn't have any problems really using Windows 11 on an older computer, but now we're in 60 days, and now we're using it on a second computer, and we're running into a little bit of an issue. So the computer that I used in the first video was my gaming test bench, and we're going to switch over to that in a minute. But this computer that you're looking at now is my new office PC, the Dell Precision. Very, very old computer, and I didn't have any problems on the other old one, but this one's older. So I didn't even think it would be an issue. So what I did was I installed Windows 10, and then I upgraded to Windows 11 using the bypass. And where is that bypass at, actually? People keep asking what the bypass is, and I mean, it's online, but I didn't really I made a video about it, but the quality was so terrible. So where is it? Most setup, volatile. Oh, you know what? It's gone. I guess it's gone because, oh, there it is. Okay, that's the command. So if you want to install or upgrade to Windows 11 on an old computer, you go to this path in registry, HE local machine system, setup, Mo setup, and you have to create the Mo setup. If it's not there, you have to make the actual folder by doing a new key, and then you put in Mo setup. But I've seen if you've tried to install Windows 11 before, the Mo setup is there, and then you just add this command: allow upgrades with unsupported TPM or CPU. That bypasses the checks, and then it will upgrade. So I didn't think I would have a problem, right? Because it works fine on the other setup, which is also very old. And here's the specs. System about. So we are on 23H2, which was the default. And it's an Intel Xeon E5 1603 2.8 gigahertz. So this is really old. This is 4 cores. That's it. There's no hyper-threading or anything. And I told myself in the video I made about this particular system, I said, well, I'm not going to upgrade the processor because it's not a gaming PC. This is only for email and browsing. That's it. So it wouldn't really need a new processor, although you can upgrade it to, I think, 6-core 12-thread. But here's what happened. I started using the PC, and I don't know if you can tell, but watch. It's kind of, I don't know, it's really, I don't know if you can see it in there, but coming from using the other PC to this one, I can tell the difference. And this is a fresh install. So it just seems like every time I click on something, it just takes that extra second. It's not snappy. And it is an SSD, SATA SSD. And it's not, I don't think it's the graphics card. Let's see what happens when we do this. Let's go here. It's hard to explain, I feel it. So here's the cores. 45% utilization, and I'm not doing anything. All right, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, because OBS is recording the screen, so that's why it's higher. But I see this either way. So let's go to Edge. And let's go here. And it's just kind of... Now we're at 100% utilization. Still not doing anything. Now these numbers, I'll type in the numbers, what they actually are without OBS running on the bottom here, because it wasn't this high before, but it's just laggy. So I did this. Let's go back here. I tried. So once again, that's the command for forcing Windows 11 upgrade. So I ran this benchmark of the CPU. This is the first time I actually run anything benchmarks on this. I was just using it. But as I was using it, and then I stopped using it for 2 days, and then I went back and used the gaming PC as just my daily for a couple days, and then I came back to this, and then I was thinking, oh no, why is it? It's like using an old laptop or something. It's terrible. So the bench was, see, 900. That's really, really bad. So this must be the most basic processor, I guess, that came in this machine. And you're right, I shouldn't be using this machine for this purpose. It was just kind of free, and I figured all I'm gonna do is email on it and do some accounting and stuff, so it doesn't need to be fast. But now, with Windows 11, I can feel the difference. There's plenty of memory. GPU's not doing anything. GPU is a Quadro K2000, which is, it's not a gaming GPU, but it should be able to handle basic stuff. So, watch this. I'm gonna go back to Edge. Eventually. See how long it took? See? Just to launch Edge. And I know people don't like Edge, but it shouldn't take that long. So here's the benchmark. Comparably is a Core i3, a Celeron, an Athlon Gold, I don't even know what that is. And then here, they compared it to a Core 2 Quad. That's really bad. So if you're gonna put Windows 11 on your PC, make sure it's at least a little bit fast. And see, this makes sense. People were saying, well, why won't they let us put Windows 11 on old PCs? This is why. Because you're gonna have a bad experience, and they don't want you to blame it on Windows. They're gonna say, well, oh, Windows 11 sucks because it's so slow on my computer. No, because your computer is slow. That's why it sucks. It's like putting Windows Vista on those old computers back in the day. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to try at least to upgrade the CPU and see if that helps. I really would like to keep this computer, but we'll see. It's kind of disappointing. I mean, it's usable, it's just annoying. It's just that little extra moment it takes. And then here, just to give you a comparison, so this is the gaming PC that I was using before. So it's about 2000 on the benchmark, this benchmark. So that's what I'm used to, so twice as fast. It would go up to about 27, 29 with overclocking, which is kind of, I think, in the 6th gen i5 range maybe. And then the new one, the new gaming PC that I have, is actually somewhat slower. It's 2000. Okay, so let's talk about the issues that I'm having right now with this particular computer. This is a very, very old system. Let's just check real quick. Dell. Where is it? Here. Dell Precision. And there's really no good reason to put Windows 11 on this computer. 2013, so it's 12 years old. No, 11 years old. Let's say 10 years old. 10, 11 years, whatever. It's just kind of not hanging in there, but I think when I put in the faster processor, that'll make a big difference. But yeah, other than that, so it's a little bit slow. That's my major thing. The sleep does not work for some reason. So if I put it to sleep, it won't wake up anymore. It's probably the computer that's the problem. It's not Windows. I assume there's a fix for that somewhere, but it's not enough of an issue for me to research it. I just turn it off every day. And it just doesn't go to sleep. And I don't use it that much. I use it once a day for maybe half an hour, and then I turn it off. I use the gaming PC more than this one. That's issue number one. Issue number two is it takes forever to boot up. Again, it could be this system, because any other old Dell that I've put the Windows 11 on boots right up. This particular one, it's doing something. I don't know what it is. It has a RAID controller. I don't know if it's checking that. It'll go past the post screen, and then there's this blank screen for 5 seconds. Just does nothing. And then finally the Windows logo comes up. So I'll have to mess around with that. And then, of course, the problem we're going to have now is I just found out yesterday, actually, that when you want to upgrade to 24H2, the Windows has to be reinstalled. It's not an update like normal. It installs Windows. I did it yesterday for a customer, and I've heard about 24H2, and people don't really like 24H2 anyway, but it's kind of an optional thing at this point. But you can force the upgrade. So we did that on his computer, and you have to install Windows again to do 24H2, and it checks again if it's compatible. So I don't know if that's going to be a problem somewhere down the line in the future, where it's going to say, oh, sorry, you can't upgrade, which is fine. I mean, if you stick with 23H2, that'll be good for a couple years. Not a big deal. But yeah, I'm not happy so far with this. Computer's a little bit too old, and yeah, now let me show you. Let's switch to the gaming PC where it runs actually nicely, and then let me show you the issues that I have with that one. Back in a second. Okay, we're back, and now we're on the other computer, the gaming PC test bench, GPU tester thing. Not really a gaming PC because it's old. And we're on the new setup. So we have switched the motherboard CPU combination. We're in a new case that will be its own video later. And it's the same SATA SSD that I was using before. and it's actually just a hair slower than the old setup because the processor is different. I had a Xeon before. Now we have, let's see, this is the 4820K. So where is it here? i7 4820K, and that's going to be, what is that, 4-core 8-thread? It runs the same though. I mean, it's not slower, as far as I can tell anyway. 4-core 8-thread. So the Xeon that I was using in the old setup was 6-core 12-thread. So it's a little bit faster. And then let's try the CPU-Z again on that. But see, I don't know if you can see it in the recording while it's screen recording. It's so much snappier than the other setup. 4 cores, 8, 12, 4 cores, 8 threads. Bench should be somewhere around, oh. Well, it's supposed to be 19, but the OBS is taking away some of the performance again. That's fine. Anyway, it's let's just say it's 2000. It's about twice as fast as the other old one. So the issue that I have in this setup is this setup is made to test GPUs. So I take the GPU in, I take the GPU out. Let's say every 2 to 3 days I change the GPU. Windows 11 hates that. It won't boot. Whenever I change the GPU, even if it's a GPU that I've had in there before, sometimes it'll reboot itself and just it'll reboot and then it'll come back in and then it's fine. But other times it just freezes and then I have to turn it off, turn it on, and then it'll work fine. And like I said, it's a GPU that was in that system before, so it's not like it's something new and it's freaking out. So that's going to be a real issue if I keep having to turn it off every single time. Eventually, the Windows probably will get corrupted or something. I don't know if maybe, I don't know. It's weird. Like people that review GPUs for a living. Also, I don't know what this is. What is... This is ever since I put in the new motherboard. I haven't really updated the drivers yet. It's just weird. Base system device. Anyway, so right now we have GTX 950 in there that we were going to test. Also, I tend to use this right now if nothing else is in there, just because it doesn't take up a lot of power. And so what I'm wondering is, in order to avoid that problem of it hanging every time, if I should, before I change the GPU, maybe uninstall the device. So that way, when it boots up with the new one, it's not expecting this one, right? So that could be the solution. Otherwise, I don't know. Somebody, if you know, like I said, I see people on YouTube testing multiple GPUs in their system on Windows 11, and I've never heard of a problem where it just won't boot. And it's not the motherboard, because this is a different motherboard. Now, they're both old, right? So that could be the problem because it's legacy. This is not secure boot. This is a legacy boot. But otherwise, it works fine. I don't have any complaints, really. It's, you don't, like I said in the other video, you don't actually use Windows for much. All you do is you go into Windows and then you click on your games like that, right? So you're not in Windows. You're not doing Windows stuff. I mean, honestly, you could just have a Chromebook for basic tasks, and then you wouldn't have to use your gaming PC for regular stuff. So what I want to do though is remember this PC is, where is it? Updates. This PC, why does it have to show my email every time? It's going to be a problem. Let's try this. Anyway, this PC has Windows or 22H2 on it, and I'm curious now to try and upgrade it to 23H2 because people were asking, why are you using 22H2? And the reason I said I was doing that was because I didn't want to break this install, because whoever installed this Windows 11, I don't know how they did it. And if they didn't do it the way that I do it, and I try to put on 23H2, it could mess it up. But at this point, I'm willing to try. So I'll probably just fast forward here. I'm just wondering if maybe, where's 23H2? Download enable. Enablement package. It's possible that this person disabled updates, and that's why. Let's see, because it should be. Updates. No. Where's check for updates? Is it missing? I think they turned off updates. Optional updates. Whoa. Yikes, look at all this. Oh, this must be all that stuff that's missing. Huh. Funny though, it runs fine without these drivers. I guess it would run better after, but... where's 23H2? Alright, I'm gonna have to pause this and come back. Be back in a second. And we're back. So, apparently, installing 23H2 manually is quite a process, so we're not gonna do that. That is interesting. I hadn't really got into the whole versions of Windows 11 yet because I was just using it. But 23H2 is basically adding Copilot, right? So, interesting. 23H2. What's new in Windows 11 23H2? Enablement package features. Spotlight, passkey, education themes, Copilot. So that's the major difference. You can customize the taskbar. So there's really no reason. You know, actually, if that's the case, maybe for the older computers, maybe you should put 22H2 instead of 23H2. Because 23H2 is what it puts on there when you upgrade it manually. You know, when you do the upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11, it puts 23H2. I hadn't seen 22H2 until I bought this SSD that has it on there. But I feel like 22H2 would be closer to Windows 10, right? Because there's less features. So I guess I'll just keep it as 22H2. There's really no reason to upgrade. And then 24H2 has what? Whatever this is. Blah, blah, blah. Wi-Fi 7, sudo. Sudo for Windows. Optional updates, features. Oh, WordPad is gone. Bye, WordPad. We miss you. So yeah, 22H2. So I guess we're just gonna keep it like that until it won't let us anymore. Somehow or another, this installation of Windows has the updates disabled because it's not really trying to update anything. It did do the Defender thing, and I don't know what's up with the printer. I have a really old printer, so it keeps doing that. So we'll pause updates for till December 20th. It's off. So yeah, a little frustrating. It works though. I mean, I tried to download this manual installer, that didn't work. Definitely some growing pains here, and now I understand why people would rather just have Windows 10 because they don't have to deal with all of this constant updating versions. Now you have, what, 4 different versions of Windows 11? I really should just use Windows 11 LTSC because that doesn't require a key and it's already 24H2, but the thing is it only works for 90 days, so I'd have to reinstall it every 3 months, which is not terrible. I mean, it takes what 20-30 minutes to reinstall it, but I don't know. Well, if you've had any issues with Windows 11 on your old computer, please comment, let me know what it was, how did you fix it, and are you regretting upgrading to Windows 11 on your old device? We'll see you in the next update. We'll probably do a 3-month update later on. See ya.